Ever wondered about the unwritten rules of flying? It's not just about buckling your seatbelt and turning off your mobile devices. There's an entire unspoken etiquette developed by regular flyers, and understanding it can make your journey more pleasant. Let's dive into a few of these unwritten rules. First up, let's talk about luggage. The overhead space is prime real estate on a packed flight, and it's designed for suitcases. Your backpacks, laptop bags, and other smaller items should slide comfortably under the seat in front of you. This is not just about maximizing space, it's about ensuring everyone gets their fair share of the overhead bin. Next, flight attendants. They're there to ensure your safety and comfort, but they're not your personal bellhops. While they may assist passengers who genuinely need help, it's generally not their job to hoist your heavy luggage into the overhead compartment. So, practice a bit of gym time before your flight, or pack lighter. Now let's talk about the middle seat. It's often the least preferred spot, but there's a silver lining. The double armrest. That's right, both armrests on either side of the middle seat are for the brave soul who's sandwiched there. It's a small consolation for not having the aisle's freedom or the window's view. Remember, these are not official rules, but following them can make your flight more comfortable and stress-free. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the unwritten rules of flying in the next scenes. We'll touch on navigating the cabin, respecting others, health and hygiene, and more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Now that we're settled in, let's talk about navigating the cabin. As we glide through the sky, it's important to remember some key points to ensure a smooth journey for everyone on board. Let's start with seating. We all know how tempting it is to switch to that empty window seat before takeoff, but hold your horses. It's essential to stay in your assigned seat until after departure. You never know, that tempting seat may be someone else's booked spot. And let's face it, no one wants to play musical chairs at 30,000 feet. Next up, let's talk about meal service. The cabin crew have a lot on their plate, literally and figuratively. They're serving a whole plane full of people in a tight time frame. So, when it's your turn to order, keep it swift and simple. A quick coffee black or chicken please can go a long way in helping the crew serve everyone efficiently. Now, on to communication. If a flight attendant comes over to speak to you, it's good manners to remove your headphones. The cabin isn't the quietest of places, and they're juggling a myriad of tasks. Taking off your headphones shows you're ready to engage, and it helps prevent any miscommunication. Finally, let's discuss seat reclining. We all want to relax during our flight, but it's important to be considerate of the person sitting behind you. They might be using the tray table or simply enjoying their personal space. So, before you hit that recline button, take a quick glance behind you. A little consideration can go a long way in maintaining harmony in the cabin. All these guidelines aim to maintain a smooth and pleasant flight experience for everyone on board. So the next time you're up in the air, remember these unwritten rules and happy flying. Before we continue, a quick reminder. We're here at Everything Travel, your one-stop channel for tips and hacks that make your journeys less of a hassle and more of a joy. From the unwritten rules of flying that we're discussing today, to the best ways to pack your suitcase, we've got you covered. We're passionate about making travel easier and more enjoyable for everyone. If you're finding our content helpful, why not hit the subscribe button? Join our community of travelers, explorers, and everyday adventurers, and never miss an update. As we grow, your support means everything to us. So, consider subscribing and become part of our journey to unravel the mysteries of travel. Remember, every click, every subscription, every share helps us bring you more of the content you love. Now let's get back to our unwritten rules of flying. Respect for others is key when flying, and these unwritten rules reflect that. Now let's delve into rules 8 through 11, which revolve around mindfulness towards fellow passengers. Firstly, we have bulkhead seats. These are often mistaken for walkways, but they are, in fact, the first row of seats in a particular cabin. They're not to be used as a shortcut to the next aisle. Passengers who occupy these seats pay extra for the privilege of additional legroom. So when you see a bulkhead seat, take the path of courtesy and avoid passing in front of them. Next, we have the headphone rule. If you notice a fellow passenger engrossed in their music or movie, respect their space. Unless it's absolutely necessary, resist the urge to interrupt their solitude. A small gesture like this can make a big difference in their travel experience. Now, let's talk about aisle manners. If you are lucky enough to have an aisle seat, you have a certain responsibility. When your co-passengers need to move out, stand up and step aside. Shifting your legs to the side while remaining seated isn't enough. Remember, your little inconvenience can save someone else a lot of hassle. Finally, we come to window blinds. If you're seated by the window, it's generally expected to leave the blinds open unless the rest of the shades on the plane are closed. The view from above can be a mesmerizing experience for many, and by keeping the blinds open, you're sharing that experience with everyone. These rules may seem trivial, but they are essential in creating a respectful and comfortable environment for all passengers. It's all about being aware of the space you share with others and acting with consideration. Remember, being considerate of others can go a long way in ensuring a pleasant flight. Last but not least, let's talk about health and hygiene in the cabin. Air travel is a shared experience, and maintaining a clean environment is essential for everyone's comfort. Let's start with a rule that may seem obvious but is often overlooked. Do not walk barefoot on the airplane. This isn't a beach or your living room, folks. The airplane floor can be a breeding ground for germs, not to mention the spills and crumbs that inevitably find their way there. So, keep those socks and shoes on. Now let's talk about scents. We all want to smell good, especially in close quarters. However, remember that people have varying sensitivity to fragrances. What might be a delightful lavender to you could be an overpowering odor to your neighbor. So, avoid using perfumes or strongly scented products in the cabin. The shared air will thank you for your consideration. Health is another critical aspect of air travel. If you're feeling under the weather or have a cough or cold, please wear a mask. It's a simple act that can prevent the spread of germs and show respect for the health of your fellow passengers. Lastly, we come to the unwritten rule of deboarding. When the plane lands, it's natural to want to jump up and dash for the exit. But remember, orderly deboarding starts from the front. Allow passengers seated ahead of you to leave first. It's not a race, and disrupting the flow can cause unnecessary confusion and delay. Following these rules not only respects the well-being of others, but also maintains a healthy and clean environment in the cabin. And there you have it, 15 unwritten rules of flying. We've navigated the cabin together, learning where to stow our luggage and the etiquette of seat swapping. We've discovered the importance of swift food orders, the courtesy of removing headphones when speaking to cabin crew, and the consideration of the person behind us when reclining our seat. We've also learned to respect others' space and their peace, whether they're enjoying their headphones, paid for extra legroom, or simply want to keep their window shade down. We've emphasized the importance of aisle etiquette and the courtesy of allowing those ahead to deboard first. Moreover, we've delved into health and hygiene, reminding ourselves to always wear shoes, avoid strong fragrances, and most importantly, to wear a mask if we're unwell. If you love this video, consider subscribing so we can hit 500 subscribers and like this as it helps this get to a larger audience. Safe travels.